Good morning and welcome. I'm your host, Nick Lombardi. This is Nick's Game Changer podcast. My friend, Chris Ulbrich.
Nick, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good
nice to see you. Chris is the CEO and chairman of Ulbrich Stainless Steels and Specialty Metals. Family business, been around for 42 years.
95 years.
95. Oh, I'm sorry.
I've been working 42 years.
You've been working for 42 years. 95 years. That's a long time. Why don't you tell us a little bit of the history about Ulbrich?
Well, my grandfather started the company in 1924 and had three sons, Fred, Dick, and Dan. And I joined the company in the late 70s and 42 years with the company.
Like a flash.
And we have 10 locations worldwide, 700 employees. We insure 1,300 lives.
Wow.
Medical insurance, that's a key thing for people, as you know.
Yeah.
And we make metal, and then people make parts. From airplane engine parts to medical parts, airbag parts in cars, consumer goods. In your house could be sprinkler heads, electronic parts, cameras that's going right now, and jewelry, you name it. And our metal makes our air cleaner and our water cleaner, and things are getting lighter and lighter. Big need for our products in industry, so it's all good stuff.
What's it been like to stay innovative and competitive in that industry?
Yeah, no, we're a supply chain partner to people and a innovation inventor with other customers, making parts. And about 20% of our products in the last every 2 years is brand new. So there's lots of new inventions out there, lots of new things helping our lives, like I said, in pollution and things like that.
Yeah.
So just got to stay ahead of it and do it.
As a young man, was it your intent to get in the family business, or is that always the plan, or how'd that go?
Yeah, I think I was always going to work in the family business. I wanted to work for another company for a little bit, and that happened for a little bit. But like I was in Alaska, and I was in Alaska camping. My father calls me. He says, "Do you want to start working in the company?" I go, "Okay," but I wish I worked. I had a job in Cleveland with Republic Steel, and I only worked there for 6 months. I wish it was a couple years more outside experience, but it was timing too. So you got to join a family business at the right time. Yeah, and so it worked out well.
Good. Well, I'm excited to have you here. So
good to be here.
For someone that's listening for the first time, the format it's a Q&A format, very conversational. If you've ever read the Tim Ferriss book, Tribe of Mentors, that's where we kind of got the idea for the format. So if you haven't read it, I recommend checking it out.
Okay.
So what we'll do is just jump into the first question. So Chris, could you name 3 words that describe you and explain why?
3 words. Well, let's see. I think driven, like to get things done, personal and family, integrity, so important, backing that, and I think multitask. Multitasking is so important. Working on 12 things at once, getting things done. I think that's So I think that's what I'm about.
And those are the same characteristics throughout your whole career that you think have helped you be successful.
Yeah, I believe so.
So the next question: what are some causes that you care about?
Yeah, well, we actually take a percentage of our sales at Ulbrich and use it for donations and for children and elderly in the Merritt and Wallingford area. Sometimes we branch out like Ronald McDonald House and things like that, but we try to keep the money in the Wallingford and Merritt area. And matter of fact, we just made a donation to the P&A Polish Club. They're doing a pavilion in Wallingford. Matter of fact, they're picking the check up today. And just helping out the community. Community's been good to us since 1924, so it's a good way to give back. And it's all good. And it's certainly needed now in this environment where, unfortunately, state finances, could have been managed better, and there's not a lot of monies around for people in need.
So you think private fundraising is a good alternative to more of that municipal, even state, federal funding?
I believe so. I think it's proven that it's worked quite a bit, especially through the United Ways and things like that. Managed, as long as the administration costs are not that bad. Nothing's worse than you know, police union calling up or something, and 40% of the funds go to a fundraiser. That's not right.
Right, I understand.
But United Way, like 11 cents go to administration costs. So you got to find the right organization, or do kind of do it yourself in the community.
Well, I think that your organization and your family has got a good reputation in the community and doing a lot of good things for people.
Thanks.
Which is wonderful. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. The next question: do you have a mentor, and if so, how have they helped you?
Well, I think my father Fred was a mentor. He passed away 5 years ago next month, and a lot of people knew Fred, and he was a real dynamo in the community and hardworking. Built our company. 1960, our sales were $1 million. Today, they're $400 million, and he and Dick did a lot of that work. He had quite a charisma, and just knew how to manage things, and from everybody in the shop to being at the White House. I mean, he was really something. So, and I learned a lot from him, and he was a good man. I miss him.
Yeah. And do you think that he always had a vision for what he was trying to build or what he was building? Yeah,
and had lots of visions on different things in the business, and then he'd push himself. Like, he wasn't good in languages, so he learned Spanish, he learned French, and then to use the other side of his brain, he collected dollies. He didn't really. I don't know if he really enjoyed it, but it was like it forced him to use the other side of the brain. So he was a full person thinking like that. How do I push myself? And it was really interesting.
So do you think some of your characteristics you picked up from your dad?
Well, I do it on a minor degree like that, like reading books that I might not really like, but trying to, learn a little more. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's good. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So actually, that's a nice segue to our next question. Which book or author influenced your life?
Well, I really enjoy all the Churchill books. Churchill, I think he wrote 80 books or something himself, and he'd work all day in politics, then at night sit in a tub and write books, and he was incredible.
Yeah.
And he was shot in 3 continents. He's been everything in the UK, from Navy secretary to the Parliament to Prime Minister many times, and he was really something. And he pushed. Everybody wanted to make a deal with Hitler, and he said no, he can't be trusted. And guess what? He was right, and he really was the leader. It was really he's really something. I was very impressed.
Yeah,
we're very impressed. How it's easy to fall in line and say, oh yeah, let's do this. Kick the can, do the easy way out. But a visionary leader like Churchill was really something.
How do you find time to read and with your schedule the way that it is?
Well, no, I read at night, but I also listen to books and wherever I go in the car, I got Audible, and so I got I got like 17 books in the queue here. So that's what I do. I listen to books all the time.
Yeah.
So I would, if I was on Jeopardy, and they asked about music people, guess what? No. I would fail.
Yeah.
I know nothing about music, zero, or the Academy and all that stuff.
Yeah, right.
Actors, zero.
That's okay.
But don't get me as a Jeopardy partner.
I'll remember that. Okay, we're gonna jump into the next question. Kind of a long one. Are you learning as fast as the world is changing, and how do you push yourself to keep growing and evolving?
Well, as a company, we're heavily involved with lean, getting better all the time, and we have some AI, artificial intelligence projects going on, and our suppliers help us, from our steel suppliers to our local suppliers, and again, I think you try different things, you read, and it's so important to get better and better and better in this world market. And it's out there. There's lots of new things out there. With 5G coming, and all this AI stuff is incredible. We have a program for our to help our medical costs and help our people. And there's an AI program that I think that's going to be the latest in medical treatments and how to do things better. So we're involved in a lot of those items.
So you just mentioned doing business in a global economy. Tell me about doing business in Connecticut specifically.
Well, our sales are $400 million, half outside the United States, half in the United States. We have some customers in Connecticut, not a lot. A lot are in the Midwest, down south. So Connecticut is fine to do business with. It's just it's just the infrastructure needs improvement, and it'd be nice that some of the root cause issues our leaders in Connecticut resolve instead of kicking the can down the road. Right. So hopefully some of these, we should all, don't mind paying more taxes as long as it's spent wisely and done right. We have to see where some of this stuff goes right now. Right. But Connecticut, in between New York and Boston, we have the Four Seasons. We have great people, great education, and
a lot of wonderful things.
And just, the infrastructure obviously issues and some of the root cause benefit issues that former people haven't paid for, unfortunately. Right. So, and some of the stuff has to be fixed, and it's broken. If we were a business, we would address it and fix it. Right. The government kicks the can. Right. So.
Right. Understand. I think that there's some things we can learn from observing what's going on cyclically in our state, and hopefully they make some changes. So. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about a goal. Next question: what goal do you have for yourself that you want to accomplish in the next year?
Well, let's see. I'm working on trying to get in shape so I can do. We've been doing parts of the Appalachian Trail, a group of us, which is 2,142 miles. I'm probably about a third done with it, doing it in sections. So I'm going to do about hopefully 250-mile stretch. So that's a goal of mine, and I'm going to collect money for a homeless shelter. Hopefully I can sign you up for $1 a mile, Nick.
Of course, yes. No question.
So it helps me stay healthy. I got to pass the stress test first, so in April. So hopefully,
you're a pretty active guy, though. Yeah. I mean, you've done different things all over the world.
So pass the stress test, then I go on the AT Trail.
AT Trail, yeah.
And
this summer, when's that?
Yeah, in July. Yeah. July 1st. Yep.
I do know that you had a good workout this morning. We were talking about. So
I'm trying to get in shape.
Pushing yourself. That's
trying
good.
to get into shape.
Can you tell me about just this kind of the theme of this podcast? And it could be whether personally or professionally, but is there any kind of game-changing experience that you can think of, or when you face some type of adversity, maybe and how you learned from that?
Well, I think in business you just hunker down and resolve the issue, whatever it is, and not kick the can, get it done. Is it new products that you need at work, or is it a safety issue? Or lack of sales, machines aren't working, or whatever. Just gotta get it done. Yeah. Gotta get it done and go forward. Face the issue, get it done, and you're better for it. And identify what the issue is. We've had some past sales issues, and we focused on sales process, and it's worked. We've had some production issues. Put money back into the production plants correctly, and not kick the can and not try to save the money, and it's really made the difference for our business, getting things done.
It's kind of that delicate relationship too between sales and operations, and your manufacturing company, and everybody focuses on production, quality, but it's I guess it's one of those things. If you're not out there selling, you need that top line, so revenue coming in.
Yeah, but also you can't run a company in silos. Everybody's in a silo, not talking to each other. So our company, I think, crosses all those lines, And lean's used in sales, lean's used in production. Quality is also in sales. If you write the wrong order, you got a claim.
Correct.
So it's across the board. Everybody working together. You got to get it done, and I think it's worked out well over the years.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, that's good. It's been. I want to just tell a quick story about how I met you. So I don't know if you remember this, but probably 4 or 5 years ago now, I attended a dinner, and we had, by chance, just happened to sitting next to each other at the dinner. And my business was pretty new, and you said, "Hey Nick, what do you do, and what's going on, and kind of like how can I help you?" And you gave me a great opportunity that I wanted to say to get involved and help in a construction project over at Ulbrich. And,
right.
That was in my business, whether you know it or not, was a real game changer for us because it gave us credibility. And you're a household name, especially in the area here. And people said, well, you did work for Ulbrich. We trust you to do work for us too. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for your comments. One source, the Knicks built a warehouse for us, $1 million warehouse, on time, in budget. Before that, we had all this stuff stored outside, and it was a game changer for our company.
Yeah, well, thank you.
At Wire
Appreciate
in North
that.
Haven. So, nice job.
Thank you. Well, it's a real honor to know you, and I really do value our friendship, our relationship.
Appreciate it.
And it's really been exciting to have you on the podcast. There's something that you may not know about me, and this is what I kind of do at the end of every one. I'm a coffee buff, and I travel all around the local coffee shops in Connecticut. And I tried recently, and I always do a little plug in every one. Ashlawn Farm Coffee in Old Saybrook, established in 2002. I also have a thing where where they have to roast on site or in house. So, other than telling you when you're driving down the shore this summer, if you check out Ashlawn Farm Coffee, I'm having a cup of it here this morning.
Okay.
And I think that they're incredible. Family owned, family business.
Nice.
And they've actually been able to they had a family farm and started the coffee as a kind of a hobby, and it turned into being a real mainstay for their family. So kind of how they've evolved and changed with the times and stayed competitive was a big game changer for them. So
excellent.
Anyway, that's what I
have to try it, Nick.
Try it out. That's what I have. Thanks
Okay.
again, Chris,
Okay,
for coming
thank you,
out.
Nick.
I'll talk to you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
All right, you got it.